Hello everyone, welcome to Ageless Rock. Today I'm going to bring you to Egypt to check out the first pyramid of Egypt ever built. It is located in Saqqara village in Giza Governorate. At the tip of this pin is the tallest structure with a massive tunnel system constructed 4,700 years ago. It is called Pyramid of Djoser, whose original name is Net Jerichet. This pyramid is about 20 kilometers from the Great Pyramids of Giza. You can see both Pyramids of Giza and Djoser's pyramid if you fly across the desert. According to archaeologists, Pyramid of Djoser is the first pyramid in Egypt constructed in 2670 BC and completed in 2650 BC. Upon completion, Djoser's pyramid was the tallest structure in the world. At 62.5 meters tall, it might be small compared to other larger ones, but it is still a massive stone monument. You will look tiny standing next to it. If pyramids around the world were made by the same ancient builders, then it is worth noting that Khufu's pyramid is about the same as the Pyramid of the Sun in Mexico at the base, and the Pyramid of the Sun has the approximate height as Djoser's pyramid. Djoser's pyramid has a base of 121 meters by 109 meters. This step pyramid is actually made up of 6 mastabas stacked on top of each other, and it has a volume of 330,340 cubic meters. This step pyramid was built under the leadership of Vizier Imhotep under the pharaonic rule of Djoser of the 3rd dynasty. The reason it was constructed as step pyramid remains debatable. The inner layer of Djoser's pyramid is basically made up of stacking stones and layered with clay. If 90% are inner layer stones, that means 297,306 cubic meters of stones were needed. If each cubic meter has 10 stones, that means 2.97 million stones were needed. That will work out to be 1 block every 3.5 minutes for 20 years non-stop. That's a crazy amount of stacking. The outer layer is basically stacked in a pattern of 5 big stones with 9 smaller stones. This pattern is still a mystery. Then the pyramid is finally covered in high precision casing stones that cannot be done with ancient chisels. Let's take a closer look at this photo, which looks odd to me. It tells me that the stones were crudely fitted first and then stacked on top of each other. The casing stones were dressed later. Imagine if you want to stack Lego blocks to sell. Do you pick the good ones first and then stack them? Or do you stack first and then see if there is a bad one and then you remove them later? Just like the casing stone in Pyramid of Menkori, the outer layer on the right is rough with wide gap. The processed side on the left magically becomes tight-fitting. Underneath the pyramid is a labyrinth of tunnels and chambers beyond its time. To hew into a bedrock is already an impossible task, but the complicated system that we have no clue until today proves it is beyond today's knowledge. The main shaft is 28 meters deep and connects to a total of 6 kilometers of tunnel system. The mind-boggling, well-dressed granite blocks of sarcophagus is at the bottom is the main attraction. To stack these massive megaton megaliths in a tight space 28 meters down is a method that still baffles scientists today. Even though it is called sarcophagus, there was no body found. It is just an assumption it was stolen. If it was stolen, robbers must first remove the 3.5-ton stone. Approximately 120 pyramids have been recorded in Egypt. None of them has a dead body inside. However, this left foot found in Djoser's pyramid is the only human body part found. I'm not sure if I see correctly, but there seems to be 6 toes. About 900 kilometers south of the pyramid, there is a stela known as Famine Stela. On this stela, it is mentioned that there was a 7-year famine. This is a very important stela as it reveals a possibility that the biblical Joseph might be the pharaoh Djoser. According to the stela, 7 years of famine made the Egyptians suffer, and the pharaoh asked the vizier Imhotep for advice. He went to see God Khnum, but fell asleep and had a dream, and in his dream he was greeted by God Kunum. God Kunum then revealed his plan and promised to flood the river Nile again. In comparison to the biblical story of Djoser, who was a vizier of Egypt, interpreted the Pharaoh's dream of 7 starving cows, 8 fat cows, as 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of famine. Djoser's actual name is Netjerichet. About 700 years later, the biblical Joseph was born. Then, about 400 years later, Netjerichet became Djoser. I'm not sure how Netjerichet became Djoser 400 years after Joseph was born. Another comparison is Joseph versus Imhotep. This comparison is uncannily similar. They were both vizier and appointed by the pharaoh. Both were treated like a son who oversees 7 years of famine. Both didn't tax the priests during the famine. At the base of Djoser's pyramid, there is a sertaba where the pharaoh's statue can see outside. But the real question to ask here is, how did ancient Egyptians carve a perfect circle through a block of dressed stone? Based on the striations, these holes are made with tools capable of high pressure. These tools made slow but very powerful spins. Imagine drilling a block of partially dried mud brick. Djoser's pyramid is surrounded by a 10.5 meter tall wall made up of perfectly cut and dressed limestone. This mega project has no hieroglyph. It is an amazing show of masonry that can rival today's technology. How was it done remains a mystery. The colonnade entrance has 40 gigantic 6 meter tall pillars with limestone slabs ceiling. So basically, the entire site is made up of megalithic blocks of limestone. With these remnants alone, I can safely say that shaping limestone is easy 4,700 years ago. If that is true, there will be no mud brick houses in the entire Egypt by now. With 3 million blocks stacked at record-breaking speed surrounded by megaton blocks of stones, unexplained circular drill holes, and a similar story of biblical Joseph, I think the first pyramid of the world is not what it seems to be. Well, that's all for today. Hope you enjoy my presentation on Pyramid of Djoser, and see you next time. May Assalama.